Hello and good morning from Walt Disney World. I'm heading to Magic Kingdom for the last time for probably a little while because of blockout dates. So I'm getting here pretty early. The park opens up in about 30 minutes. I know that I'm definitely going to be grabbing some breakfast at Sleepy Hollow and riding some rides and just enjoying the overall Christmas ambiance. So Disney did recently announce the return of the Magic Kingdom parking lot trams. It does not look like they're in operation today, but I'm pretty positive that they're coming back in late 2021. At some point. Everyone is walking from the parking lot to the transportation and ticket center. If the trams do return before the end of the year, they're probably going to be a little bit closer to Christmas. The day that I'm here today, it's about 10 days away from Christmas. But this is my last chance to visit Magic Kingdom before 2022. And I've made it through security, heading over to the buses probably. That might be the best alternative to get into Magic Kingdom this morning because it's just very busy. Nope, never mind. It does not look like the buses are running this morning, but there is not a very bad line for the monorail at all. So hopefully I can get into Magic Kingdom before the park opens in about 15 minutes. And here we are at Magic Kingdom Park. The crowds are not too bad outside of the gates. It's a little bit after 9 o'clock. The park literally just opened because it took a little while to get onto the monorail. Luckily, I did the welcome show a couple weeks ago when my family came to visit, so I'm not really here just to be here at rope drop at park opening, but it's still pleasant to be here right as the park does open. One method of transportation that is not coming back anytime reasonably soon is the Walt Disney World Railroad. It's getting pretty close, I'm pretty positive, but it's very contingent on the Tron construction. But at least the trams are coming back, and really any kinetic motion or energy brought back to Walt Disney World is very exciting. So I'm heading straight back to, I think, Sleepy Hollow for some breakfast. You know, even more so than the Walt Disney World Railroad, I think I'm more excited about the opportunity to go up on top of the train station again and just see Magic Kingdom again from an aerial perspective, because that is one of my favorite aspects and attributes about the park, is just getting to see it from interesting and unique perspectives. This is really why I came to Magic Kingdom though. The early morning ambiance, the Christmas decorations and music, the Main Street vehicles. It's just so exciting and pleasant to be here in the morning. I'll definitely be coming back to the Emporium to do a little Christmas shopping later so I can mail some presents back home. But right now I'm heading to Sleepy Hollow for a little Mickey Waffle. I feel like I haven't really gotten to enjoy the Christmas decorations along Main Street, so I'll probably do that on the way out of the park. Right now I want to prioritize getting some breakfast over at Sleepy Hollow and then maybe riding a few rides, potentially in this half of the park, because when my family and I came to the parks for our Animal Kingdom Lodge stay, we sort of stayed over here in Frontierland and Adventureland and then a little bit in Fantasyland. Okay, I'm heading over to Sleepy Hollow, which is right across the bridge, right over there in Liberty Square. And I'll be able to just enjoy some breakfast sitting right next to the castle. Sometimes people suggest whenever mobile ordering to let the app know that you've arrived well before you actually make it over to the restaurant that you've mobile ordered from, but I don't know about that because I literally said that I was here and then it was immediately ready. Okay, so this is what I ended up getting from Sleepy Hollow. This is my strawberry Mickey waffle here, which is a lot larger than it looks like in the mobile order. And I'm walking along this path here behind the castle to go find a spot to eat it because it's a little bit busy over by Sleepy Hollow. So where I'm going to be going, which has recently proved to have a plethora of seating opportunities, at least early in the morning, is over by Pinocchio Village House. So I made it over to Pinocchio Village House. I am very tempted to go up to the second level up on that balcony up there because there is a staircase and the rope is down, but I don't know if that's intentional because the restaurant is technically not quite yet open for the day. So I'm just going to stay on the ground level here, find a spot preferably in the shade, right over here with my Mickey waffle, and then this Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee here with the Girl Scout Thin Mints flavoring, which sounds exciting. I got that a little while ago and I'm going to enjoy it. I brought it into the park with me. If there's one thing that I love about early mornings of Magic Kingdom, it is just eating breakfast in a quiet and secluded area. When normally just there's so much hustle and bustle and activity at Magic Kingdom, just the stress to get from ride to ride, reservation to restaurants. It's really nice just to sit down and have a quiet breakfast, and just in the morning when not a lot of people are here or the restaurants aren't even open yet, you can just find a little spot that's just away from the crowds that are here. It is really, really great. Okay, so I'm heading over to Tomorrowland right now. What I plan to do is come back in this direction a little bit later to go to Frontierland for Tom Sawyer Island because I haven't been there in a little while, and that would be pretty much the ideal way to conclude my experience at Magic Kingdom today. Right now, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is only an hour wait, a little bit over an hour wait. This is probably the ideal time to ride this before the influx of Lightning Lane later in the afternoon. One of these days, this space will be occupied by Pooh and Tigger again, and they'll be doing meet and greets, hopefully at some point in the future. And I haven't been back to Magic Kingdom, I haven't really been over here since they completed the paint job up here above the Mad Tea Party. That's pretty cool. All right, so remember by 7 Horse Mine Train, I'm heading into Storybook Circus because I do want to see what the Tron construction looks like over here, and a surprising turn of events. It is starting to rain now. Didn't expect that. I don't really know how much there is to see that is new back over here in Storybook Circus in terms of the Tron construction, but I'm curious. I just want to see what the train situation looks like. When are we going to get the Walt Disney World Railroad back? When I first started working at Disney back in 2014, 2015, I started back here at the Barnstormer and Dumbo, and that was back when both the Walt Disney World Railroad was open and then this bypass area that connected over to Tomorrowland, so it got pretty busy back over here, but now it's pretty much just a dead end. Okay, so let's see what the construction looks like. I don't believe I'm going to get in line for Barnstormer to see what it looks like. I think I can just head right around the corner over there. On second thought, I might go ahead and get in line because it is not that bad of a wait right now anyway, and they put up some shrubbery right over here, so it's a little bit hard to see what's going on with the Tron construction, so I can get a little bit better view way up there in line. So it was raining, but it literally just stopped, which is great. It's going to be really cool getting to see this pathway open up again, connecting Fantasyland with Tomorrowland, getting to walk past the Tomorrowland Speedway and underneath the Tron awning right there. But I'm going to go ahead and get in line just to see if I can see anything more interesting from a little bit higher vantage point. All right, so it's definitely a little bit easier to get a perspective of the project here. It's really cool to see where the train is going to go, and it looks like the walkway is going to go around the canopy here. Okay, so that was about 10 minutes of waiting for just a 5-second clip of the construction process and progress of Tron, but it's going to be worth it. I'm sitting in the back. I love sitting in the back here so much. It's going to be a little bit faster in the back compared to the front. I forgot how fast this was. This is actually a little bit faster than Space Mountain, especially in the back. Okay, I survived the 45 seconds of peril that is the Barnstormer. Okay, now I'm going to head actually over to Tomorrowland to probably hop with the PeopleMover and then just see what Tron looks like from the other side of the park. The line's getting pretty long over there for Barnstormer, so I probably hopped in line at the right time. It still looks like it wants to rain, but not as bad as it did a little bit earlier, so I may have lucked out there. Okay, so the weather's looking much more promising heading in this direction towards Tomorrowland, which is definitely a good sign. Hopefully I can get on the PeopleMover and then head over to Sawyer Island. Another cool angle to see the Tron construction progress from would be from the Tomorrowland Speedway, especially once they take the walls down over there. Here's the transition from Fantasyland into Tomorrowland. But once they take down the fence that's over here on the far loop of the Tomorrowland Speedway, that'll be really neat to see Tron from. I remember when Tron was being rumored for Magic Kingdom, a lot of people thought it was going to be built here at the Tomorrowland Speedway, so I'm glad that they found a happy alternative and they built it in the back of the park. So this is pretty intense. This is the end of the line for standby for Space Mountain, way over here, almost to Tomorrowland Speedway. So I'm pretty happy now that I'm to get in line for a pretty definitively quick line for the PeopleMover. Of course, I say that, and this is the line for the PeopleMover, but at least there's no lightning lane for it, so it should move pretty considerably quickly. All right, this has not been very bad at all. It's been about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll be able to get onto the PeopleMover, and Brennan is, I'm sure, vicariously enjoying this with me because she loves the PeopleMover. And here I go on the PeopleMover. Look at that line down there. Now it's stretched all the way back over there, and they have an end of line sign for the PeopleMover. What? Okay, this is definitely getting to the busy parts of the morning. Hopefully I can head over to Sawyer Island and then experience that, and then probably head out of the park after stopping by the Emporium to see if I can find any last-minute Christmas presents. When I was here a couple weeks ago, Dennis and I did do Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, but not really anything else in Tomorrowland. I was thinking about potentially doing Space Mountain, but not with that line. Probably that might have to wait until the new year to do Space Mountain again. Okay, passing by the Tomorrowland Speedway. This is what I'm very excited about seeing, the progress of Tron. Wow, you can absolutely see this path here for the return of the Walt Disney World Railroad, and presumably this, which is going to be the walkway connecting Fantasyland with Tomorrowland. Well, no, this is the walkway. Hold on. I'm confusing myself. So this right here, this is going to be the train station. Okay, I was interrupted by Space Mountain. So this looks like it's going to be the walkway over to Fantasyland, and the train track is right next to it. Where the entrance is, I'm not sure about. That also might be the entrance into Tron. I'm even more confused now. What in the world? So the line has been pulled up a little bit for Space Mountain, but it still looks pretty long. It's a 60-minute wait right now. So it still seems like the weather is holding up. So I'm heading over to Frontierland to go to Sawyer Island before I can't. It looks like it still might rain a little bit later. Okay, pulling into the station for the PeopleMover here. I do definitely appreciate the weather because it is very temperate and comfortable. today and making it a very, very enjoyable day at Magic Kingdom, even though it is pretty busy because, again, it is about a week until Christmas, the day that I'm here recording this. I am pretty interested to see what the parks look like on Christmas. From Christmas until New Year's is the busiest time of year at the parks. It was a little bit different last year with the limited capacity that the parks had, but it's pretty close to back to normal now with the exception of park reservations. So it's going to be pretty intense, that's for sure. This is also where Brennan and I watched Happily Ever After for the very final time in the park. So I'm not completely positive, but I'm pretty sure that these wreaths have been updated here in the Castle Hub for the 50th anniversary. I don't remember them looking like this. There are a lot of fruits in there. Some apples and pears and lemons and oranges and pineapples. That's pretty cool, but again, I don't really remember them looking like that, but I'm heading in this direction where I can hear the Main Street Philharmonic. And there's the Main Street Philharmonic right there, heading up the ramp towards the castle. Don't know if they're going to Fantasyland or if they're going to do a little show here on the castle stage. So cool to see the Main Street Philharmonic on that castle stage. I don't think I've ever seen them perform on that stage before. And they deserve it because they are so phenomenally talented. So to get the recognition and just the crowd that they're getting right now is very well deserved. But I'm heading over to Tom Sawyer Island, again, just to make sure that I can do that because the weather just seems so off today. So on my way back from Tom Sawyer Island, I think I'm going to stop by the ye old Christmas shop here because I never go inside the store, and it is very appropriate right now. In years past, they've wrapped a garland around the lampposts in Liberty Square for Christmas. Looks like they're not doing that this year. There goes a cavalcade, a Christmas cavalcade of princesses. So right now the Liberty Bell is going by on the Rivers of America, which generally has the right-of-way when it comes to the riverboat versus the Tom Sawyer Island rafts. So I have a little bit of time, and what I want to do is go find a spot because the 50th celebration cavalcade should be coming down the street in about 10 minutes. I've yet to see that. The cavalcades start back here in Frontierland, right next to Splash Mountain over here. Then they run down the parade routes all the way through Frontierland and Liberty Square, pass by in front of the castle, then go down Main Street. It's about noon right now, so Mickey and his friends should be coming right around the corner, right over here by Splash Mountain any minutes. So there they went. That was a pretty quick cavalcade, but Mickey and Minnie and Goofy Chippendale, Donald and Daisy, there they go down the street for the 50th anniversary celebration cavalcade. But now I'm heading back over here across the bridge over to Tom Sawyer Island. Okay, so there's really nobody over here in line for Tom Sawyer Island, which is fantastic. So I'll probably get on the next raft over to the island. Okay, on the raft about to pull up to Tom Sawyer Island. You can see the weather back there behind the castle. So hopefully I'm able to run around here a little bit before getting back on the ramp. So generally when I come to Tom Sawyer Island, I like to go through the caves. I like to go over to Fort Langhorne, walk around there a little bit, and then get back on the raft. So I think I'm gonna head straight to Fort Langhorne because that closes a little bit earlier than the rest of the island does if inclement weather does roll into the area, which I don't really think it's going to. It's just an odd day with weather. This is pretty interesting. On the way over to Fort Langhorne, I can see that they cleared up a lot of foliage way over there. That is really interesting. I do remember noticing that they replaced the fence over there, but as far as the foliage, I believe that is relatively new. I haven't been here in a little while, so that could not be new whatsoever. But it's very different compared to how I remember it, with a lot of foliage just blocking this entire view of Big Thunder Mountain once you get across the bridge. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at old videos from when I came to Tom Sawyer Island in the past, but I never remember being this open and clear where you can see so much of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad from this little pathway over on Fort Langhorne. All right, I'm heading inside Fort Langhorne, which looks to be pretty quiet right now, which is nice comparatively with the rest of the park, which is pretty busy currently. This is the blacksmith in here, which I know has a few animatronics. It's pretty cool. Some horses and chickens in there, and even a dog right down there drinking some water. Okay, I made it up to the second level up here with the different rifle roosts. There's a rifle in here that's just consistently going off, so that may be not working properly right now. The riverboat just went by, so I should be seeing it come this direction here probably in about 15 minutes or so. But I just wanted to walk around Fort Langhorne. Just brings back a lot of nice memories. So I've done the caves on Tom Sawyer Island the majority of the previous times that I've come here, so I think I'm just gonna head straight over to the barrels over the water over there and then head back over to Tom Sawyer Island so I can probably start making my way towards the front of the park because it's getting pretty late. I've been here a while, and here comes the riverboat right around the corner. Wow, look how quiet it is now. There's really nobody at all here. There was nobody here when I got here, and then a lot of people showed up, and then now it's nice and quiet again. So instead of heading through the escape tunnel like I usually would, I'm going to go around the corner over here, but this is the guardhouse, being very closely monitored by this gentleman in here, obviously. But this is a nice little side path right over here because you get a pretty cool view of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad right over there. I'm going to try to make it over to the bridge right as the riverboat does. One of the coolest perspectives of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is from right over here on Tom Sawyer Island. There used to be a rocking chair right over here, but that's gone. I don't know what happened to that. I hope they bring that back. There goes the Liberty Bell, and I'm heading way over there to the little barrel bridge. There's Haunted Mansion, which I'm sure has a pretty extended wait time currently. This is another situation where I'm sure that there was a lot more foliage at one point a little while ago. I remember this being definitely covered with a lot more trees and less open. You could definitely not see that walkway before, so this is interesting. Isn't that weird? You could never see that walkway before from the barrel bridge over here by the water. It's still fun though. One of my favorite attributes of Tom Sawyer Island. I could see them taking this away at some point in the future, but not yet. Right here, this is Aunt Polly's Refreshments, which is not currently open. Sometimes it opens very randomly and intermittently, and then only for about a couple weeks during the busiest time of year, but they have one of my favorite menus. I was hoping that potentially it'd be open today with about a week out until Christmas, but it looks like, nope, not today. They have little like chicken biscuit sandwiches and Arnold Palmer's, and I believe at one point like peanut butter jelly sandwiches, I'm pretty sure. They just have like a very different menu compared to the rest of the park with the chicken tenders and cheeseburgers and pizza. Okay, so now I'm heading back to the raft landing right around the corner over here just to make that back over to Magic Kingdom before the riverboat comes around again, and I'm stranded for about 5 minutes because the riverboat takes precedence over the little rafts because it is very big. And I made it back on the raft, heading back over to Frontierland, and then probably heading over to, I guess I'll head to the Christmas shop just on the way out of the park, and then probably pass through Fantasyland just to see what the crowds look like there in the middle part of the day, probably the busiest part of the day. It sounds like I just made it onto the last raft before the riverboat comes around the corner because it just blew its horn. That is departing the dock over there, so just made it, just barely in time. Right now Big Thunder Mountain is posting a 50-minute wait, and Splash Mountain is posting a 75-minute wait, which is somewhat surprising. I thought they'd have a little bit longer of a wait time, especially in the middle part of the day. But the capacity for these is pretty good too. All right, so the Liberty Bell just went by, and I'm heading over to Yield Christmas Shop to probably, hopefully, get some Christmas ornaments because I know that my mom would probably really appreciate and enjoy that. She could put that on her tree, maybe for next year. I'm sure that this shop is pretty popular this time of year, so we'll see what sort of selections they have inside, but hopefully they have something fun. So it is pretty busy in here, and there are not really a lot of options this close to Christmas. What really caught my eye is this right here. I really like this a lot. This is a musical figurine with Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Goofy and Pluto here. It's very, very large, and it's going to be sort of awkward to get home, but this is $75, which is also a little bit expensive. But if I got something, it would probably be this, but I think I might not. So they did have some smaller ornaments that I was interested in, but nothing really generic like just Mickey or Minnie Mouse. They were specialty Disney movie characters, so I decided to opt out of that because if I'm going to get something for my mom and my dad, it would probably be best if it was just something simple like Mickey or Minnie, which I wish they had, but they did not. So there's the end of the line for Haunted Mansion, all the way back here by the Liberty Square Market, hosting only 45 minutes, which isn't that bad, but it's still a pretty considerably long line. There we go, these are the crowds that I'm used to heading into Fantasyland, and here in Liberty Square, it gets very busy over here, especially this time of year. All right, so I'm heading through Fantasyland just to pass by Peter Pan's Flight and It's a Small World, just to see what the wait times look like right now before heading back through the castle and then down Main Street to maybe do a little more shopping in the Emporium. It's pretty cool to think about just last year, how they had construction in this area, there were social distancing markers everywhere, and just compared that with now, it's pretty different. Okay, so It's a Small World was posting a 40-minute wait, Peter Pan's Flight is posting a 70-minute wait right now, probably due to that very long lightning lane return right there. Tempted to get in line, but then also I did it pretty recently, and nice and early in the morning, and got on in about 15 minutes, which is not going to be the case right now. Another attraction I played around with, potentially doing today, is PhilharMagic, just to see the new Coco scene, but I'd like to do that with Brennan whenever we can come back together. She's at work today, which is why she's not here. I sincerely hope that by next year, the Castle Dreamlights will be back on the castle. I know that it's a very expensive and lengthy process to put them on the castle, but it is just so iconic. So I'd be very surprised, and then also very disappointed if they did not bring the Castle Dreamlights back next year. All right, made it through the castle, which the Christmas projections on the castle are still very, very cool and beautiful, but just the Castle Dreamlights are just a different sort of an experience. But I'm heading over to the Emporium now to hopefully get some sort of a Christmas present, amongst others that I have, to send it back home to the family. It looks like the main Street Philharmonic is coming down the street again. They're not performing on the castle stage this time, but they are passing through the castle hub, playing some more Christmas medleys. Okay, heading down Main Street, following the Main Street Philharmonic over to the Emporium, and then I'll probably come back out and enjoy these decorations just a little bit more before heading back to the monorail. Okay, so what I'd like to try to find, hopefully, is some 50th anniversary merchandise, which looks like it got somewhat restocked over here. I do not remember these spirit jerseys here. This is really cool with the castle, with the 50th anniversary insignia on it, and Walt Disney World in gold raised lettering here. This is really cool. Well, what I was searching for is right here on Shop Disney. This is the Mickey Mouse and Friends figure ornamental set for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. This is $50, and it has all of the characters there: Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto right there. So I'm probably just gonna go ahead and buy this and then ship it to their house, and it should arrive by Christmas. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out of the Emporium because it is pretty busy in here. These would also make some pretty fun gifts here. My mom loves board games and anything theme park inspired. I'm sure she would enjoy, but I could probably find these on Shop Disney as well. All right, so I'm outside of the Emporium. I came out on Main Street one more time just to appreciate the holiday decorations up and down Main Street, the garland, the wreaths, the Christmas lights, and bubbles. It's just such a fun time when you're coupled with the music that they play on Main Street. I love it. This is just peak Christmas ambiance right here, Magic Kingdom. I'm not entirely sure of the next opportunity that Brennan and myself are going to have to come to Magic Kingdom. It's probably going to be after the new year in January, once the Christmas decorations are down. So just getting one final look at all of this is nice. It sounds like a cavalcade is coming down the street, so I'm just going to walk around the base of the tree here, which if it rains, you can actually stand underneath the tree, which is pretty cool. Let's see what decorations they have on the other side. Right over here. I don't think that these change from year to year, but it's always pretty cool to get to see them. All right, yes, it is definitely raining. Not very hard by any means, but more so than it has all day long. So I'm heading back to the monorail. Goodbye, Magic Kingdom at Christmas time. I will miss you. So one aspect about the train station entrance that I did not notice on my way into the park this morning is that there is no Magic Kingdom Christmas decor out front at all. Usually there are Christmas garlands going along the railing there, and then there are flowers here, I believe poinsettias. But nope, there is no Christmas decor whatsoever. That's just on the inside of the park, so that's pretty interesting. All right, farewell Magic Kingdom until myself and Brennan can make it back together probably some point in the new year, taking the monorail back to the Transportation and Ticket Center, and then heading home. So never mind, it looks like the monorail is currently down, so everybody is turning around, heading over towards the ferry boats to take that back to the Transportation and Ticket Center. Well, that was slightly unexpected for the monorail to go down. You can see how dark the clouds are back there now, wow. But the ferry boat has just arrived. It's pretty dependable as far as a method of transportation. Not the fastest, but consistent. This is pretty cool to get to see this new loading and unloading structure over here for the second level of the ferry boat. Not sure when or if they are going to utilize this. I'm sure at some point. But that is very cool. Okay, so we're pulling away from the dock, and I was able to come up to the second floor just to get a little bit closer look at this. Cool. I'm going to miss being
Ahoy, mates, and welcome aboard the Admiral Joe Fowler.
The stern of the boat, depending on which direction.
We will be arriving at our destination in just a few moments. On our way,
right? Okay, pulling into the dock on the other side over here. Looks like the monorails are now going again, way over there. So, of course, Looks like they're working on this literally right now over on the other side of the Seven Seas Lagoon, so I guess it's just not ready quite yet. I don't take the ferry boat too often, but whenever I do, it's a very pleasant and relaxing experience, especially today when the weather is just very comfortable. All right, so that concludes my trip to Magic Kingdom this morning to have some breakfast at Sleepy Hollow, then to ride, what did I ride? I rode Barnstormer just to check out the Tron construction, and then the PeopleMover to check out the other side of the Tron construction, which, albeit confused me a little bit, but I'll come back and I'll check it out, and hopefully the railroad will open up at some point. It looks like it's still a little bit of a ways away. Hopefully the trams come back. Probably once I post this video, the trams will be back, but I had a good time. I even tried to do I went to Tom Sawyer Island, which was great. Just get to walk around there a little bit one more time before I probably can't for a little while, and then a little Christmas shopping was attempted, but I'll just have to buy some stuff online, like a millennial, I guess. But thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye.